Brian Page. What's up?
Good morning.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. You just signed for SJK-juniorit as a talent coach for this coming season and hopefully for the years to come.
Yeah, just signed a year's contract as talent coach. Looking forward to the challenge. It's going to be exciting. We've got some very good talent. I'm going to be working with boys from 06, 05 and 04 age groups mainly. I'm looking forward to the challenge. It's going to be a good one.
Okay, tell us about yourself a little bit. You came to SJK a few years back. What's your football background?
Yeah, well, I grew up in England coming through the academy systems at Norwich and at Peterborough. After being released from Peterborough, I went to a team called Scunthorpe, 2-year.
The Irons.
The Irons, what we called an apprenticeship, and then a pro contract. And after being released from there, a little bit of non-league football, and then decided to take the coaching more seriously. Worked at various different clubs professionally in England. Before I came out here, I was at Norwich, his academy, who have now produced, I think, 3 of their academy graduates played at the weekend for them. 2 of them scored, 1 of them got man of the match. So that was a great experience. I learned a lot there. And then actually an old friend of mine, Chris Cleaver, who played for SJK and was assistant before me, he got in contact and said there was a vacancy, did I want an interview? So I came out, met Simo, put on a session, and thankfully it went well, and Simo took me on as an assistant, and that was 3 years ago.
You're still thankful that you stayed in Finland?
Certainly, I love it out here. I really do. I love this
So
city.
You're not missing the rain and the sleet?
I'm certainly not, no. I love the city of Seinäjoki. The people here have been fantastic to me.
And you got a family here now?
Yeah, now got a young family, so it's great. And I must say, thanks to the owners of SJK. Firstly, because Raipe and Janni and the board here have been absolutely superb with me for the whole time I've been here. So a massive thank you to them, and now a big thank you to Juri and Kari, who have put a big trust in me taking this role and looking after their young players. And I'm going to go out there and do all I can to help these youngsters develop and become the best they can be.
How do you compare our environment and infrastructure here to a football club in England?
It's very, very different. The culture's different. You know, the way of life in England for a young player going into an academy is the only thing. It literally is the only thing. You know, from the age of 8, they're dreaming to be it. So it's a big cultural difference, and the resources of a top English academy compared to, you know, especially SJK's juniors is totally different. So we have to make the best with the resources we've got. I think the juniors here do an amazing job, a really, really amazing job. And it wasn't till I started helping them out at the end of last season that I realised what an amazing job the coaches, the staff, and actually that the parents and the players do to make it all work. You know, they have to travel long distances, they have to put in long hours, and they do a fantastic job. And it's now my job to help that develop, help that continue to improve, and hopefully we can start to see these youngsters coming through into the first team.
So you said you're a Scottish man?
Yeah, Scottish man, born as a Scotsman, lived all my life in England though. My father moved down, met my mum, and I was born in England, unfortunately. But no, I'm a proud Scotsman. I loved where I grew up, so I've not got a bad word to say about that. But born and raised as a Scotsman, and proud and passionate about that as well.
So you follow your
Yeah, follow the Tartan Army.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're on the up. We won our group in the Nations Cup like Finland, so looking forward to the qualifications, and hopefully they can do well in that.
Who did you get in the Euro Championships qualifications?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Because we always get the easy ones, you know, Greece and, you know, all these, Italy,
yeah,
Bosnia.
We've got Belgium in our group, I believe, again. So I believe
Yeah.
You'll have to double check. But
Yeah.
you know, Scotland are a nation of passionate people. We're proud of our nation. We'll play with pride. The Scottish team always give everything they've got, and and hopefully they can give that Tartan Army something to sing about.
Celtic or Rangers?
Actually, Celtic prefer, but I'm a Dunfermline man. The Pars, they play in the Championship in Scotland, so they're my team. I follow them. So yeah, but more Celtic than Rangers, I think.
What about England?
I follow the teams I used to play for, but if I'm looking at Premiership, I like Man United purely for the fact when I was growing up, Alex Ferguson, they had players like Brian McClare, who was a Scotsman, and stuff like that. So I always like Man United, and I always look out for them.
But at the moment, they're a bit of a shambles.
Yeah, they're struggling. They've struggled since Sir Alex Ferguson left, and they've struggled
True.
to find or to keep that identity that he had at that club. But look, they're the world's biggest club, so I'm sure they'll find that identity and rise again. I've got no doubt about that.
What do you make out of it that, the money in English football is outrageous? The wages for the players are humongous. The ticket prices have gone out of the roof. Everything's getting more expensive, and it's not a common man's football anymore.
No, not so much anymore. But it's the way it is, and we can sit here and we can discuss it and we can moan about it. But it's just the way it is, and it's like the modern game on the pitch. Everything's evolved. The game's quicker, it's faster, it's stronger. The pitches are better, and the stadiums are better. The resources are bigger, and it's like everything in football. Everything's growing. It's growing at a pace. Doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon. And in my opinion, we have to deal with it. We have to get on with it. If any individual chooses not to want to go anymore and go and support their local club in England, I can certainly say there's some good football at lower levels. So it's everyone's choice, really.
Where do you see Finnish football going at the moment? You've been here now for three seasons,
Yeah.
and you get a little bit of a perspective.
Yeah, there's lots and lots of talent in Finland. There's no doubt about that. That's why you see a lot of the young players moving into Europe and into the bigger leagues in Scandinavia. In my opinion, it'd be nice to see if we could keep a few of them for longer. See more Veckosliga players in the national team, but that's down to each club. From junior level, going into the reserves or academy, however they call it, to produce those players, and then hopefully keep them, getting them playing in the Veckosliga for a few years, up that level even more, and then bring the next set through. So, yeah, I think the standard's high. I think the quality's good. The football's good. It's just about trying to keep those good young players for a few more years if we can, to keep that quality high.
How would you say that the top Finnish teams from Veikkausliiga would fare in Great Britain? Where would you say they would be? At what level? It's hard to say. The football is different.
Quite a lot, because the football is a lot different.
Yeah.
In Finland, and especially in the Veckosliiga, a lot of teams tend to try and build the play. They try and pass through the thirds, through build up 1, build up 2, into the penetration, into the finishing phase. In England, especially League Ones and League Two, maybe it's a little bit more direct, maybe it's a little bit more physical. In England, the pitches are grass. Out here, a lot of the pitches are artificial.
Plastic.
So there is a lot of differences, but I could see a lot of the Veckosliiga top players being able to compete in League Two, in League One maybe at times, but it all depends what clubs they go to, what managers they get, what styles they play. It's so hard to say, really, because
But it's always hard to compare the leagues.
It depends on the team, the managers, the style of play. Depends on where a player's going to fit. So I do think that we could compete in Leagues 1 and 2, especially the top sides. And then these days in England, the Conference Prem, the National League as they call it now, is very competitive. So, we'd probably fit in there as well.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
I'm an ambitious man. I want to try and get as high as I can. I want to try and coach as high as I can, manage as high as I can, wherever I fit in. I've not put myself into any category at the moment, managing, coaching, assisting. juniors, first teams. You know, I'm just working hard to improve myself each day. You know, continue to develop my coaching styles and my philosophies, and I'm confident that I can go high. So it's just about now being patient, doing the best job I can for the juniors here, helping the club develop within its new infrastructure, and then seeing what opportunities arise from that, and take one of those opportunities as they come along.
And it's also always about being at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, but then you've got to make sure you've got the right tools to fit that situation, because I can be in the right place at the right time, but if I'm not equipped to deal with that situation, I'm going to fail. So my job now is to make sure I'm equipped to deal with the opportunities that come along, and that's what I'm going to try and do.
Thanks, Brian.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.